Hey guys, I am back today with another video. This is part of my Let's Talk series, and this is the basics of wax melting. By far the most often question that I get asked on Instagram, whether it be in a comment, direct message, what have you, is how do I get started with wax melting? Who do you recommend? Different things like that. So, the next two videos in my Let's Talk series are going to be about that very thing. This one here is going to be just like the basics of wax melting, and then the next video is going to be my favorite wax vendors that I recommend. So, I do want to preface this by saying something that I feel is important to the integrity of the video. One of my favorite wax accounts, my random favorite things, about a year and a half ago did a video called Wax Melting 101. It was quite a long video, almost an hour long, extremely thorough. I've watched it a couple times myself. I am not in any means trying to hijack or copy her idea. What this is simply to address people on Instagram that have asked me this particular question. So if you want to think of it, this is like the Cliff's Notes version of my random favorite things Wax 101 video. So I'm just going to start with the question that I get asked. What is a wax tart? So a wax tart to me is any scented wax that does not have a wick. So it's scented wax that you can't light it. You have to warm it to get the fragrance to release. So what you're going to want to do first is get yourself a warmer. Now there are three kinds of warmers that I know of. The first one, I have a Halloween one put away somewhere, so I can't really show it, but I did find a picture of one. This is from Yankee Candle, and this is a tea light warmer. As you can see, you use an actual tea light candle to light the wax, and the wax is up in that little white bowl. So the tea light candle will warm the wax and release the fragrance. So that is one way to warm your wax. Another warmer is a light bulb warmer. Now this one will use a 25-watt light bulb. You plug it in. Has an on-off switch, and then you put the bowl on there and melt your wax. Type number 3 is a hot plate warmer. This one's also electric with an on-off switch. Again, it has the removable bowl. This part here is the hot plate. This surface gets warm and it melts the wax. So those are the only 3 types of wax warmers that I'm aware of that are on the market. I tend to prefer the electric ones myself because part of the reason that I like wax tarts is because I don't have to babysit an open flame. And having the tea light warmers kind of negates that. But some people really like the tea light warmers. They're very cute. So any of those is going to get the job done. So with the removable bowl here, you put your wax tart in it. And when it melts, it looks like this. It's just a solid mass. I do want to say, because I've been asked this a lot, this wax is not going to go anywhere. So it's not going to evaporate like a candle. It's going to stay that way forever. So when do you change it? When it loses its fragrance. That generally can happen anywhere from 3 hours to 48 hours. I've had tarts that I've been able to melt for 48 hours straight, and they still do great. So you just kind of have to play around with different waxes, find what you like as far as the lasting time. If you're somebody that likes to change quite often, change up your scents, you know, you might be okay with the tart that lasts 3 or 4 hours and then you can switch to another scent. If you don't want to, if you want to be lower maintenance than that and just kind of suck all the scent out of a tart before you change, you just kind of, there's no really wrong answer at all. So, as far as wax tarts themselves, here are some different examples, so many different examples of wax tarts that you can get. You can get scent shots, which are usually in a little cup. This is 1, maybe 2 servings for a warmer. Clamshells are anything like this that's in plastic. They're usually in 6 pieces or sometimes in 8 pieces, and you use, you know, 1, 2, or 3 of them in your warmer, break them off. It's kind of like a ice cube tray under there to the way you break them off. melt the wax that way. There are different shapes you can get. This is a big rose, and you can cut these and use them for multiple servings. I have a teddy bear here. I mean, wax is just, I mean, there's really kind of no limits. There's hearts. These kind of shapes, like this. Here's a muffin. If you want a larger volume of a scent, you can get a pie. This is actually 2 pies combined. This is about an 8-ounce pie. They also make like 32-ounce pies. I mean, there's all different kinds. There's loaves you can get. I don't have any loaves in front of me. And then bakery bags are really nice too. Bakery bags will have, you know, several different pieces of the same scent in it. That's also good if you want a larger volume of wax. So basically what you would do is you get yourself some wax, put in however much you like. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, in my opinion. And then melt yourself some wax, and you will get some good smelling stuff. Now, the other question I get is, where do I get them? How do I start? I'm overwhelmed, different things like that. And believe me, I was too when I first started, because it's crazy. But more and more people are joining the wax community every day, and there are more and more places to get them. Some of the easiest things is you could go into Walmart, and there are 2 brands that I know of for sure, although there's probably more. Better Homes and Gardens and Sensationals. Both sell wax tarts. These are like $2 a piece, I believe, at Walmart. So that's a really quick, easy way. A lot of grocery stores have them too. Quick, easy way to get some wax tarts. Another one is Scentsy. And Scentsy is a business that's kind of like Tupperware or any of those other businesses where it's like a pyramid business and people, you know, join and sell it and stuff like that. Scentsy vendors are pretty easy to find. You can, pretty much all of them have a website. If you ask around, almost everybody knows somebody that's selling Scentsy, so you can get scents that way. The other thing you can do is vendor wax, which is actually my favorite. There are just a ton of wax vendors out there that you can try, and everybody's got kind of their own thing going and different scents, and pretty much everybody has a Facebook group or an Instagram or something that you can follow, and a website usually, or Etsy or something like that where they have a scent list. You can go on there and look and see how to get the wax. A lot of times you have to wait for, because they're small businesses, you have to wait for them to restock their website before you can buy stuff from them. But there are a lot of other vendors that have ready to ship stuff on the site. So with ready to ship, you have to be a little careful, because you're not going to, I mean, you don't really have to be careful, but be aware that you're not going to be able to necessarily get everything you want. It's going to be based on what's been poured at the time. There's other websites that have custom orders where you can literally go on there and say, I want this shape in these scents, and then you have to wait for them to be made. A lot of vendor wax will have turnaround time, which basically means you order it, they make it, and then they ship it to you. And turnaround time can be anywhere from a couple of weeks to months, just depending on the vendor, the demand, how big your order is, things like that. Or you can do ready to ship restocks like Vintage Chic Scents. This one, she does ready to ship restocks about once a month that she'll announce on her Facebook group. Then you just go to her website, and based on what she's poured, you order what you want and pay for it, and you have it within a week, usually within 3 or 4 days. So there's lots of different options for wax, as far as wax vendors, Scentsy, grocery store wax. There's different options for warmers, just all different kinds of stuff. I really just cannot stress enough that there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's all a matter of personal preference. I mean, some people might like their scents to be ridiculously strong, and some people might not like that. It may be headache inducing or something. So this is just something that is going to be different for everybody. You just have to play around with it, find out what you like. There are de-stash groups on Facebook as well where people that have bought wax are turning around and reselling it. And you can try that. There's a lot of companies that do samplers where you can try a bunch of different scents. So this is, I mean, it's not something where I can really point anybody in the right direction other than to say that there are a ton of options out there. And, you know, again, that there's no right or wrong way to do it at all. It's really all 100% a matter of personal preference. So that is the very abridged version of basics of wax melting. I really hope that I didn't leave anything out. The main points I wanted to address were, you know, oh, I guess I should talk about where you can get a warmer. There's an idea. So this one, the hot plate one, is a Glade warmer. Those are $10 at Walmart. This one here is a Scentsy warmer I ordered from Scentsy. Walmart has a ton of them that are light bulb warmers as well. Tea light warmers, I think there's probably a lot of companies that make them, but I think the main company that does the tea light warmers is Yankee Candle. So, like the one that I showed here, this is a Yankee Candle warmer. This is really cute, by the way. If I did tea light warmers, I'd be all over that. But, yeah, I mean, as far as what I wanted to address today, it was mainly, you know, where do I get a warmer? What happens to the wax? Basically, after the scent is gone, there's a couple of different ways you can remove this. You can hot pour it, which is kind of what I do because I'm impatient. So it'll be still melted. I'll pour it out, wipe the bowl clean with a paper towel, and put in a new tart, and I'm good to go. Another method that people like to use is the freezer method. Since these bowls are removable, you can literally take them off there, stick this in the freezer for like 30 minutes, and this wax will actually contract. And then literally, like, you just barely touch it and it slides out. And then you're good to go. So those are a couple of different methods for removing the wax afterwards. But yeah, I wanted to address that. Also, the fact that the wax doesn't go anywhere. Don't expect it to evaporate. It will just lose scent eventually. And then you will dump it out or freeze it and pull it out. And then also with, you know, how to get started with wax. Just the basics on that and, you know, where you can find things like that. So I think I addressed those pretty well. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to comment below. And I will get back to you guys as soon as I can on that. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Cameo by my kitty there. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I will be back shortly with the next one. Have a wonderful day, guys.